Welcome back to Fightium, where we break down the most intense matchups and analyze the battles that could define eras. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications, because every week we take you deep into the world of combat sports, where technique meets mentality and legends are born. Now, let's dive into one of the most fascinating matchups in modern UFC heavyweight history. Tom Aspinall vs. Ciryl Gane. As of 2025, the heavyweight division has evolved into a realm of movement, precision, and technical intelligence. Gone are the days when brute strength ruled everything. Now, fighters like Tom Aspinall and Ciryl Gane have redefined what it means to be a heavyweight. Aspinall represents the new age hybrid, a heavyweight who moves like a middleweight, thinks like a technician, and hits like a truck. Ciryl Gane, on the other hand, is the definition of finesse, a man who doesn't brawl, but orchestrates every exchange like a chess master. Both are athletic anomalies. Both are cerebral fighters. But they approach the game from entirely different mental and physical philosophies. So, before we predict who wins, let's break down their essence. How they fight, how they think, and how they adapt. Tom Aspinall isn't just another big man who learned to move fast. He's built for violence wrapped in efficiency. Standing 6 feet 5 inches, weighing around 250 pounds, he carries the size of a classic heavyweight but the agility of a welterweight. His core weapon? Explosive timing. Aspinall's ability to explode into a combination, shoot for a takedown, or close distance in a heartbeat is something few heavyweights can prepare for. He's a product of the next generation, molded from years of sparring with elite boxers, training under high-level BJJ mentors, and developing complete composure under pressure. He's not emotional inside the cage. He's clinical. When he steps in, it's never random. Every strike, every angle, every level change is calculated. He doesn't just fight, he processes. Aspinall's striking is rooted in traditional boxing fundamentals. He works behind a stiff jab, quick 1-2s, and sharp footwork. His head movement, combined with lateral steps, gives him a rhythm few heavyweights can mirror. Unlike typical big men who load up on power, Aspinall flows. He doesn't need to swing for the fences, he lets timing generate the knockout. That's why his finishes look effortless against fighters like Sergey Pavlovich or Marcin Tybura. His precision and timing made elite-level opponents look frozen. He dictates pace, angles, and tempo. And that's terrifying in a division full of slow starters. Where Aspinall truly separates himself is his grappling. He's not just capable on the ground, he's dominant. From top position, his transitions are fast, clean, and brutal. He can advance position with explosive hip control, and his ground and pound comes from posture, not chaos. If he takes Gane down, it could be a short night. That blend of explosive boxing and elite grappling is what makes Aspinall such a nightmare matchup for anyone, even a technician like Ciryl Gane. But now, let's look at the other side of the equation, the man who made heavyweights look like they were fighting underwater. Ciryl Gane is the heavyweight division's artist. He doesn't knock people out with one punch, he breaks them mentally and physically with rhythm, space, and tempo. While Aspinall is chaos control, Gane is control disguised as calm. He thrives on distance management, feints, and forcing his opponents to make mistakes. Gane's base comes from Muay Thai, but his adaptation for MMA is nothing short of genius. He's one of the only heavyweights who consistently uses footwork patterns and switch stances to dictate direction. He never stands still. Where Aspinall closes distance explosively, Gane creates distance masterfully. He moves in and out, uses side steps, body kicks, and leg kicks to freeze his opponents, and then counterpunches when they overcommit. Against strikers like Derek Lewis, he made the octagon look like a dance floor. Always one step ahead, always resetting, never in danger. But that same patience, that same technical rhythm, has sometimes cost him, especially against fighters who can pressure and grapple relentlessly. This is where Gane's biggest question marks lie. When Francis Ngannou and John Jones exposed his lack of wrestling defense, it became clear that while Gane's stand-up IQ is elite, his grappling fundamentals lag behind. His takedown defense isn't poor because of strength. It's positional. He often relies on athletic escapes instead of structured defense. Against an explosive grappler like Aspinall, that's dangerous. If he's caught flat-footed, taken down early, or loses the scramble, Gane will find himself in unfamiliar territory, a position where Aspinall thrives. This fight isn't about who hits harder or who has the bigger name. It's about rhythm, tempo, and decision making. Ciryl Gane controls distance better than any heavyweight in history. Tom Aspinall destroys distance faster than any heavyweight in history. That's the central conflict. The man who dictates distance dictates the fight. If Gane can manage range, keep Aspinall reacting, and punish him with counter kicks and jabs, he'll look flawless. But if Aspinall can time those entries, blitz the pocket, and make it a mixed martial arts fight, with level changes, pressure, and ground transitions, Gane could crumble. This is what makes it so fascinating. It's not just power versus finesse. It's control versus chaos. Aspinall's strength is in momentum. Gane's strength is in patience. The fighter who forces the other to abandon his rhythm will win. For Tom Aspinall, the blueprint is simple, but execution is everything. Pressure early. Don't let Gane find his rhythm. The longer the fight goes, the more comfortable Gane becomes. Aspinall needs to cut the cage, close distance, and make Gane work backwards. Use feints to hide entries. Gane's biggest weapon is anticipation. He reads movement. Aspinall must break that pattern, using level changes, switch jabs, and fake takedowns to create uncertainty. Chain wrestling. A single takedown attempt won't be enough. Aspinall needs to chain his wrestling, double leg trip, body lock, transition. Once it hits the mat, his top game will overwhelm Gane, ground control. From top, Aspinall should use elbows, posture up, and work for dominant positions rather than submissions early. Gane's only chance on the ground is movement. Kill that movement with pressure. If Aspinall implements this game plan, the fight could be one-sided. He has every tool to finish Gane on the ground or by TKO once fatigue sets in. Cardio is where both men shine, but differently. Aspinall's energy comes in bursts. Gane's comes in flow. Aspinall's explosiveness means he can finish fast, but that same speed can cost him over 25 minutes. Gane, however, maintains composure and control, rarely wasting movement. In a 5-round war, Gane's pacing may be slightly superior, but if Aspinall maintains positional dominance early, fatigue becomes irrelevant. Physically, both are near equals in height and reach, though Aspinall may hold a small power advantage. In terms of durability, both have proven toughness, but neither has been tested to the absolute limit of punishment repeatedly. That makes this matchup unpredictable. Both are efficient finishers, not grinders. Mentally, both men are elite. Aspinall is cold, logical, and unaffected by pressure. His post-fight interviews reflect composure and humility, a dangerous combination for any opponent. He doesn't chase fame. He chases perfection. Gane is equally cerebral but more rhythm-based. Once comfortable, he's in his element. But under pressure, when his plan breaks, he struggles to adapt quickly. We saw this against Ngannou and Jones. When the game plan was disrupted, Gane froze momentarily. Aspinall, on the other hand, has shown adaptability. When his knee blew out, he came back stronger and smarter. That mental resilience could be the deciding factor in a chaotic exchange. Tom Aspinall, start fast and disrupt rhythm. Mix striking and takedowns. Avoid getting stuck at kicking range. Maintain top control and punish with ground and pound. Ciryl Gane, manage distance with kicks and lateral movement. Don't engage in wrestling exchanges. Draw out Aspinall's aggression and counter. Stay composed through pressure. Each man has a path, but only one can impose his will first. So, who wins the war between Tom Aspinall and Ciryl Gane? If this fight happens in 2025, we must consider evolution, both fighters improving their weak points. Gane has likely been working heavily on his wrestling defense after the Jones loss. Aspinall continues to sharpen his stand-up and grappling transitions. However, stylistically, this fight still favors Aspinall. He's faster in closing range, heavier-handed in exchanges, and far more dangerous on the mat. Gane may look flawless in open space, but Aspinall's ability to close that space makes him a stylistic nightmare. Expect the early rounds to be tense. Gane controlling distance, probing with jabs and kicks. Aspinall reading and waiting. But once Aspinall finds the timing, the momentum will shift violently. A single level change, a clinch, or an explosive entry could put Gane on his back, and from there, it's a wrap. Aspinall's ground control, posture, and precision will overwhelm even a composed technician like Gane. Official prediction: Tom Aspinall defeats Ciryl Gane via TKO in round 3. Too explosive, too well-rounded, and too complete. Gane will have moments of brilliance, but Aspinall's blend of speed and power is the evolution of heavyweight MMA, and that's what wins wars. Tom Aspinall vs. Ciryl Gane isn't just a fight, it's a representation of where heavyweight MMA is heading. And no longer about size and strength alone, it's now about movement, timing, and adaptability. Both men have carried the torch for the modern era, but when they meet, only one can emerge as the symbol of true evolution. Aspinall is that symbol, not because he's perfect, but because he represents the future, technical, explosive, and fearless.